This is part of www.boss.camp, where managing is made easy. You can access this employee performance assessment on the following link: www.managerfoundation.com/employee-performance-assessment. To fill out the assessment, you might find that it's easier if you pause the video as you go along, just stopping it and starting it to match your progress through the assessment. Okay, let's kick off the employee performance assessment. You start that by just putting in the number of employees that you're directly supervising or managing, and hit continue to kick off the assessment. This is the first section. It's the common employee performance issues. So really what I'm doing here is I'm using my experience. When I consult with people, these are the most common sort of staff performance issues that they have. So I sit down with people and identify what sort of problems they're having. And typically I find that they're under these headings. When filling this in, it's, as far as possible, it's a good idea to start off with the most important issues first. The point of this exercise is that it's going to identify what you need to prioritize and help you to quantify what the issues are. So the first section is pretty easy. It's obvious performance issues. So these are the things that you just are painfully obvious to you. So they're pretty easy to spot. They include sort of things as employees not doing the work that they should. There are significant repeated mistakes or just shoddy work. Things like repeated missed deadlines, you're getting customer complaints. There are attendance and punctuality problems. Some examples would include a sales consultant not following up with all of their web inquiries, so you're missing sales. Maybe you have got an office administrator who hasn't updated the client database like they should, so you're missing 20% of, well, 20% of all email addresses are invalid. Monthly management accounts are always late, or maybe you're getting a lot of customer complaints about XYZ. I'm using a 5-point scale here, from strongly disagree to strongly agree, so some of these items will resonate with you more than others. Pick on the scale if you have some obvious performance issues and how strongly you agree or disagree with them. This is the only compulsory part. The 5-point scale is the only compulsory part, or required answers, sorry, that's a better word. And the rest is optional, but it will help you, as you will see later. So I do recommend that you fill this in, but again, if nothing resonates with you, then it's not relevant for you, and don't put any information in there. What I'm using here is I use a technique called the Magic Wand technique, and it's just phrased like this: if you could wave a magic wand and fix staff performance issues, what are the top 3 that you would choose? It's just a technique that people use to tease out what you want to fix. As I said, it's optional, but it does give you a good idea about where to focus. This next section is about quantifying this. Now, this is quantifying it in terms of resources, which are time and money. For this, let's work on your time. So, these sort of things, they can cost you time because you're continually following up with these sorts of things, or it's going to cost you money. It could be missed margin from sales, or it could be an increased cost. Put your best estimates about what you think that has cost you, and just keep a consistent estimate, if it's weekly or if it's monthly or annually, in terms of time and money. To get into the next question, just once you've selected your answers, hit continue. This is the second section of the common employee performance issues. These are indicators of potential issues. So it's not direct, obvious concerns, and they might not be causing direct problems right now, but often these are indicators that there may be a problem, or it's an indicator that there could be a problem in the future. These would include items such as reverse delegation. Reverse delegation is work that comes back for you to complete. So, most managers think that this is just a fact of life, that maybe you give someone some work to do, and then they don't finish it, or they don't do it at all, and you end up doing it yourself. Actually, that's quite a big problem, because it means that everything is dependent on you to finish things. Some other indicators could include things like employees pushing back when you give them instructions, or they're providing lots of excuses for non-performance. Maybe there is high staff turnover in the department or in the company. It could be a lack of focus. You don't feel that people are working as hard as they should be working. There's team conflict, or maybe a lack of diligence in the care and attention that they pay to their work. Examples could include, I frequently have to complete tender proposals to make sure that they are good enough. The office manager always objects when I ask them to do something new. I have to mediate disputes between the employees. It seems as if the research assistant is always on Facebook. The sales consultant goes home sometimes before contacting all of the fresh leads. Again, using the 5-point scale from strongly disagree to disagree about how much you feel that this is an issue. And then, again, here's an optional box to record what sort of indicators are causing you concern. If this is something that resonates with you, then put your top 3 concerns, or if there's lots, go to town on it. But if it's not something that you think is right for you, then leave it for now, and hit continue to go into the next page. This is the third section of common employee performance issues, which is about missed performance opportunities. So this is about doing better than just the bare minimums. It's not just about kind of doing the day job. Actually, if you just stand still in modern business, your competition will eat you, because your competition is continually trying to do better. They're continually trying to get faster, be smarter, work harder, etc. And if you stay still, you're going to go backwards. So these are the most important issues that would improve performance if your staff could do a bit better by increasing volume or quality. This is about doing more than the bare minimum, and in particular, it's about striving for a standard of excellence. So a good example is Steve Jobs and Apple. If Steve, I don't necessarily support the way that Steve manages, but Apple became the most successful company in the world not by resting on its laurels, but by continually striving for a standard of excellence. And this is something that you as a manager should help your staff to achieve. Examples could include the sales consultant only follows up each lead twice, and I think we could improve the sales by 5% by doing more. The marketing assistant only sends out 4 newsletters a year, but I'd like to send out a newsletter every month. The accountant only prepares the accounts. I wish they would identify profit opportunities. So again, on the scale, how strongly do you feel that there are missed performance opportunities? From strongly disagree to strongly agree, pick one. And then, again, this is optional, but good practice. If this resonates with you, record what performance opportunities you think you're missing, and again, how much you think that these performance opportunities could have earned you. When you've done that, hit continue to carry on. This is section 4 of the common employee performance issues, which is improved performance through better skills and abilities. Now, it's quite closely related to improving performance or missed performance opportunities that we've just dealt with, but it is slightly different because this is about skills and abilities, and usually these skills and abilities support improved performance. So I'm just going to go over this. The theory is that when staff improve their skills and they learn new capabilities, they can perform at a higher level. What could staff improve performance with better skills? That's what we're going to work out here. This would include picking up new capabilities. Some examples would include the sales consultant converts 25% of leads, whereas more skilled consultants are converting 35% of leads. So that would give you an indication that you think the sales consultant could learn how to convert leads better. A bookkeeper spends 10% of their time manually reconciling expenses. If they could learn Excel, they'd halve this time. Or if the administrator learned PowerPoint, then I wouldn't have to finish all of the presentations myself. So this could be an example of an administrator that's not currently doing your presentations for you, but if they learned how to do PowerPoint, they could take that off your hands. And that relates to the last item, things that you feel that only you have the skills to do. So this is a common management problem. Lots of people call it the superhero problem, that we as managers, we know we are generally a little bit more skilled than a lot of our staff, and that means that we think we have to do everything ourselves because the staff don't have the skills or the abilities to do things. But if your staff can develop these skills and abilities, this can really save you a lot of your own time, and the increased staff performance can lead to significant savings or increased revenues. So again, using the 5-point scale from strongly disagree to agree, pick what you feel about that. And if this is an item that resonates with you, then fill in here what you think you could improve if our employees had better skills and abilities. And again, how much is this worth? So some sort of quantification in your time and money. So you might be wasting time following up staff because they don't have the skills. You could be wasting time doing things yourself because your staff don't have the skills, and that also drops down neatly into a money equation, either in terms of what your own time is worth, or if it's increased sales through margin, etc., that would have a direct money benefit. Once you've done that, hit continue. This is part of www.boss.k, where you can find out how to make work work.